Good morning and welcome to Flat Earth Debates. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you would like to support this channel, there is a link to Super Chat that runs alongside the show while it is live. And if you would like to join the debate, there is a link in the info box below this video. With the page that you are currently watching on mute, simply click on that link to join the show and express your views on the shape of the Earth. There are only a couple of rules in the Hangout. Number one, please do not swear. If you do, you will be ejected, but you will be warmly welcomed back on the next show. So please do not try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. With that, I'm going to transition across to my photograph so I can share the show on Facebook, Skype and Twitter, and I would encourage anybody who is in the live audience to do the same. Once again, if you are new to this channel, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. Well, that was quick. We've been joined by Hank Hill. Good to have you here, Hank.
Thanks very much for the invite.
My pleasure.
I was just going to say that the Earth is a ball because ships go over the horizon and stuff.
Excellent. We've also been joined by Sleeping Warrior. Good to have you here.
Good morning, Nathan. Hank, how are you doing?
Very well.
Grand, and yourself?
Good. I wanted to ask, I was hoping to catch up with Jeremy. He'll be awake now. And the good thing about Sunday morning at this time is that people like PMARS won't be awake. They'll long be in bed asleep. So hopefully I'll be able to have a decent conversation with Jeremy. Alternatively, Curved. Maybe Curved will be on because he seems to be on a lot, but I appreciate he may well be in bed. But Hank, I noticed that you were chatting the other day with... I can't remember who you were talking with, but generally we were talking about, I think, I'm just trying to remember what chat it was I saw you in. The stars were being cited as the proof, you know, the celestial sphere, and how the stars proved that it's a ball. And I was just wondering, do you remember what channel that was in? Was it in Nathan's chat by any chance?
I think so. I like to spark debates. I like to help Nathan out. I like Nathan.
Sure. And really, I mean, I was watching a hangout with GeoStreamer and MultiTomTom. MultiTomTom, if you're watching, get in touch because I'd like to run through some of the things that GeoStreamer mentioned. Because I don't know, some of the things he said, they're worth discussing from two flat earthers' point of view. But the celestial sphere was demonstrated by GeoStreamer as using, you know, Celestia and the other one that they use. And basically, he was showing that it matches exactly what we see. And he wasn't showing the alternative explanation for them. And there are alternative explanations for what the stars do and how they can be interpreted. It doesn't mean to say that just because you have a computer-generated model that is representing real life, therefore it's true. There are other ways that they can be interpreted, and they work equally the same. And you can't distinguish between either model just by looking at the stars themselves, unless you can get three observers in the southern hemisphere all looking due south at the same time and seeing and showing where the stars are relative to them, because of course all the stars that are in the south should be seen by at least two of the three observers, because obviously one of them will be in the day. When looking south, they should see the same. The only one constellation that's close to the pole star, which would be Sigma. But it doesn't appear, there isn't that evidence there to make that point. But if that evidence did exist, then I would be quite happy that that would show that it was a curved Earth. But it doesn't exist because you can't even detect where Sigma is as a constellation itself. So it's like, whoa. Well, I think it's called the triangular one that sometimes has 3 stars to it and sometimes have 4. I think someone call it Octantis. And they use Sigma as the central star. But so I may have misspoke there. So I stand corrected if necessary. But Talk to me about the stars, Hank. Where are you at with the stars?
Before you do, Hank, we've been joined by Free Minded. If I could just say a quick hello.
Hey, what's up, Nathan? What's up, Riley?
Yo.
What's going on?
Nice to see you, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, and shout out to David, the guy David that was constantly being spoke over for the last 2 chats that I've watched him. The guy's right. Just because he's being stamped all over by the ballers does not mean he loses the point. He is right, but there is no evidence of numerous things that he's asking for. And it was interesting when I saw David asking for the evidence of the globe, and Brenda popped up with the globe, and she was saying, "Well, what's wrong with it?" I only had literally a few minutes because I was busy last night, and I showed that when you get to 30,000 feet elevation and you flick up to the horizon, there's loads of curve there. And we all know that there's no curve when you get to 120,000 feet. Yet Brenda pops up with what she claimed was a 30,000 observation with curve to it. And it was supported by Jeremy, who said it's right in the middle of the frame, and that's the curvature of the Earth. So if that really was the case, why does not all the evidence show the same thing? And obviously it doesn't. So I'm calling bullshit on Brenda's claim for the curvature of the Earth at 30,000 feet. It doesn't happen. And the curve she showed means it was consistent with Salney's curve at Pontchartrain, showing that we must live on a basketball. And of course, we don't see any curve at 100,000 feet or 120,000 feet. So I'm calling bullshit on hers. I'm not really meant to say that word, but nonetheless, 30,000 feet curvature doesn't exist.
I'm pretty sure they were just being contrarian, though. I know that they know that point is conceded on both sides. You know it, I know it, they definitely know it. There is no curvature at 30,000 feet. We all know that. But the fact that they presented that, to me, was deliberately fallacious. I think they were just being contrarian for the sake of being contrarian. In other words, oh, you say there's no curve that looks like that, but here you go. Obviously, we can find one. And they're saying that with tongue-in-cheek almost. But I say, no, that's absolutely part of the deception. The fact that you can go to that photograph so quickly and easily, doesn't that say it all?
Yeah, I agree, absolutely. I mean, listen, Curved Water knows that there is evidence out there that proves that the Earth is not a ball. I've presented it numerous times. He's never been able to debunk it, claims that he always does, but ultimately, this standard refraction thing is based, you can't cite or claim standard refraction is some kind of illusion that makes the Earth, ball shape of the Earth appear to look flat because it bends behind the curve of the Earth, unless you can show that it's curved, because otherwise it is the way it is. You can't say, hey, it's an illusion, because to show that it's an illusion, you must show how it actually is to then to validate the assertion that it is illusionary. And obviously nobody can show the curvature. But yet Jeremy also knows there's evidence out there of curved Earth, of a flat Earth, not curved Earth. He's been invited to repeat that experiment from Hoylake at 30 miles away with a P900, and all he's got to do is turn up and look at it himself, and he will not do it. So Curved knows there's evidence out there that's not supporting a curved Earth. He pushes the narrative that it is. And really, how much further do you need to go in the debate itself? If you can't prove that it's curved, or you can prove that it's not consistent with the claim of curvature, does the conversation actually need to go any further than that point? Do you need to talk about gravity, rotation? Do you need to talk about stellar aberration? Do you need to talk about parallax? All the other things that come from it. Do you actually need to talk about them if you can't even prove the premise of curve? My position is no.
Yes, you do. How do you know the Earth isn't a sphere, but the size of Jupiter? You know,
that's my position.
That's
my position, Hank. I've always said I don't necessarily subscribe to it being flat. I also consider the possibility that it could be the size of Jupiter. I mean, them words, I don't know whether you've heard them from me, but they are my words. I stand in that.
I haven't heard it from you.
No, I've heard you say that, Riley. I've heard you say that.
That is my position. I'm not saying it's flat because I'm not convinced that it's not much bigger than what we're being told, because if we were on the size of Jupiter, we wouldn't be able to detect the size of the curvature because it would be miles too big. So I'm not ruling out the possibility that we're not on summit the size of Jupiter, but I am ruling out the possibility that we're on summit the size of a circumference of 24,970 miles, because we know that that's demonstrably not the case. We can test it easily. And both Curved Water and Jeremy both know there is evidence out there that is verifiable, even though they've not done it themselves. It is verifiable. It is credible because other people can go and do it. They both know that evidence is there, yet they both still cite that it's still a ball. And it's like, no, hang on. Some ballers have got to go to some of the ballers have got to go and do the Hoylake experiment, show that it's fallacious in some way, or that I've made a mistake or whatever, and show that actually the curvature is actually this. And I'm telling you now, as long as the atmospherics allow you to see far enough because it's not cloudy enough. So let's just say it's clear enough to be able to see. I mean, I've been back 15, 20 times at different times of the day, and I can still see it. It's always the same. The only difference is the opacity of the atmosphere reduces how clear you can see it, and it becomes opaque. No, not opaque. It reduces its translucency, so it becomes difficult to see. But if you can see it, it's always the same. It's never dropping behind the curve of the Earth and coming back, which is what refraction is supposed to do according to their model. It's always the same. And it's like that is not being affected by what they're telling me is standard refraction. It isn't doing the same thing. So I accept, Kank, you are quite right. We could be living on the summit the size of Jupiter. I also think that we could be living in a crater on summit the size of Jupiter. We could be living, imagine that we were living on the moon and we see all the craters in the moon and we're living within one of them craters, and the crater that we're living in houses all of our water like a bowl, and the land is on the water or floating on the water to some degree. But we're living within a crater on the moon and we have no concept of them and the size of what we're on, because we're living within an environment, and we're living in an environment that's within an environment that we can't work out unless we can see it from the third perspective, the third person. So I agree. We could be living on the summit the size of Jupiter, and I've said that many times before. But I will state that we can do curvature observations. There is evidence that supports it not being the size that they tell us it is, and therefore we're not heliocentric the way we're told.
We've been joined by Jonathan Roberts. Sorry to interrupt you, Hank. We've been joined by Jonathan Roberts. Good to have you here. Thank you for being here.
Hi, Nathan. Hi, people.
Hey, John. How you doing?
Hi, I'm all right. Yeah. I was just going to come in and this is a thought that came into my head last night, right? So I just want to run it by a few people before I think of actually doing this. And as long as you've got an open mind, which I think we all have here at the minute. So here you go. How's this? Right. If I get my printer and I print out on an A4 piece of paper about 300 times the words research flat earth, watch 200 proofs, Eric DeBay, Earth is not, video book, and 21 questions, and then fold it up and not right next to my house. My neighbours don't even know me. Nobody knows. It's just a huge estate. And then just not like around my house and that, but like, could you putting it through people's letterboxes? I mean, is that, I know it's like junk mail, but surely is there anything illegal in any of that?
I don't know about your laws, but in the States, you cannot put stuff in people's mailboxes. It is against the law.
Well,
you can put stuff on cars and stuff, right? Like flyers.
Well, right. Nathan will be able to help me out there because we're both in the UK. What do you reckon, Nathan?
I'm pretty sure you can put what you like through people's letterboxes here.
Yeah. Well, the funniest thing, this Eastern European chap knocked on the door the other day, and he had a brilliant brainwave. I obviously, because he wasn't from any company, printed off a load of tiny little stickers about 6 inches long that say no junk mail, and he was knocking on people's doors, and he must have got a cheap print on like 1,000 of them, and for any spare change that you had in your pocket. Now I gave him 50, put it on my door, and they're all over the other doors around the estate, but it's a huge estate, right? And like, it's not like anybody's going to be like, I wouldn't want it to be in a situation where I've gone and done it, and then like everybody's like, there's the flat earther. But I don't think that the woman next door but one to me knew about chemtrails and called it depopulation agenda. As we watch chemtrails being sprayed over the sun, which is 93 million miles away. So how the hell that they don't do that? You can't do that on a ball. I mean, you'd have to be spraying absolutely all the time, but that's another story. Anyway, so people are open-minded, as we know, but is that a good? Is this a good am I not doing us any favors? Or if anybody can recommend any that would be a more appropriate thing to say, that a one shot with a person having, you know, they're going to look at their mail in the morning, and that's got to be something that clicks their mind instantly to hook them onto it. What, you know, make them stop it.
I think it's going to be different for different people.
But I'd have to do it all in black and white, otherwise it would, you know, the printing for it. But just on A4 pieces of paper, fold them into a 3 like you do when you put it in an envelope that you send to somebody, and just put, I don't know, what, put research flat Earth.
May I interrupt?
Letterboxes. Surely there wouldn't, you know, like nobody's going to go, oh, right, I think I'll call the police. I mean, it's just not like that in Britain. Nathan, what did? Sorry, I didn't. I can't remember if you said something, Nathan. Sorry.
I think the most compelling to somebody that's not familiar with this topic is when you show them the fake NASA footage, all the little videos they have of that. That's really it's really hard to explain that. And that's I got a couple of videos that's what I want to show tonight. Well, tonight over here, this morning for y'all. That's what I want to show tonight. I got a couple of videos I'd like to show and see what they say about that.
Hey, Free, there are no moths in space, right?
Oh, no, what?
Moths in space.
Yeah, I seen. I just seen that one too, bro. Yeah, yep. But that's not the one I'm talking about. But you'll see.
I want to answer the question, Jonathan.
Yeah, because like I'm like literally in the process of thinking, right, you know, I need to go to sleep for a couple of hours, but I'm thinking I could just turn my printer on now and print off, you know, 100. And whilst I walk to the shops, if I walk through all the housing estates and just post them through letterboxes as I'm walking through people's houses, I can't see any. But anybody think that it would be better not to? What do you think I should put? Research flat Earth? What? The Earth is flat. I don't think that's going to do anything immediately. Well, to us it would.
I agree.
Well, to be honest, I think
yeah,
like a UK standard. If we're going to do something like that, maybe we should have like something that we all construct together. That is,
well, yeah,
cheap,
that's what I was thinking. Like, well, if we all sort of like put in an idea and because I sent Jamie, this is on Stephen's channel, yeah. But I was on Jamie Brown's channel and I sent him an email saying, listen, look, can you get back to me, because I don't know whether this is a good idea, but if it is a good idea, why don't we all do it? You know, that's whether or not, you know, you're going to get it's going to be different to the UK to the USA, but in the UK, people tend to look at their mail. Yeah, go on.
The point you're making is really good, but it's a debate channel at the minute, and let's have the debate, because there are things that people do want to say, and I'm not discrediting or dismissing what you're saying.
I'm just coming on to say that. I'm just leaving, and then I'm off now. So I was just seeing what Nathan knew, if anything that was illegal, and their questions been answered.
No, it's not. It's not illegal in the UK. You can post as much shit through people's letterboxes as you want in the UK. Sorry.
Right. All right. Okay. I'll see you later, people. All right.
No worries.
I'll talk to you later, Nathan.
Just one last comment.
I would still like to answer Jonathan's question.
Okay.
If it's okay.
Yeah. Sure. Could you? Yeah. If you've got, please hang. If you've got something to say. Yeah.
Yeah. Please just let me speak. Okay, what you're dealing with is, 20, 30, 50 years worth of programming. And what you don't want to do is activate that programming. You want to circumvent the programming. For example, this young man Free here, who I've never met before, he's going to listen to what I say until I activate his defenses. One way to do that is if I drop the N word on this guy. He's not going to listen to anything I say after that, right? The same effect is going to happen to people who see the words flat earth. Their defenses are going to go up. Their programming is going to get activated. You may not want to start with that. You might want to start with
not to say we
research,
can't
fake
do
moon
something.
landing, research geocentricity. That's how I got started, geocentricity. And it's funny because that's where it ended up. Anyway, you don't want to activate.
I don't really want to put
defense
people's
mechanisms.
names of their channels on either. I don't really want to recommend that.
Right,
Oh,
you
well.
probably don't want to promote Eric Dubay because he's got something, the Jew World Order or something that may offend.
Well, no,
certain
I was. It wasn't actually to do with. You know, I would have. You know, I would have picked a quite. You know, not the one that where he's attacking everybody. No, it's not like that. The 200 proofs one. But you know, and maybe edit it, but that's not. I don't know. Anyway, I'll get off the line because you know people want to talk. Yeah. I'll think of something, and I'll. If anybody's got any ideas, please contact me.
Yeah, forgive me, Free, for using
all
you
right.
as an example. I was just trying to get my point across.
I just joined back in. What happened?
Oh, I kind of used you as an example.
Can I paraphrase for him? Can I paraphrase for him, Hank?
Yeah.
So there's a presupposed argument here, Free, that is a suggestion that were the word nigger to be used, you would immediately discount everything that any person that had used that word said thereafter. So what are your thoughts and feelings about that?
I mean, probably it would depend on the context, but you know, if he was being racist with it, that would definitely turn me off. And probably any other person of color. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's not what I did just now. Basically, what I said was when you say the words flat earth, you activate people's programming that they've had through schooling, and they're automatically going to shut down what you have to say after that. And I used the N word as an example. I said, if I were to say this to the man Free, you know, it would have a negative effect, and he wouldn't listen to anything I said after I said that to him.
That doesn't depend. Doesn't that depend on how Free is as a person, though?
I was going to say that's what I thought.
Well,
yeah, I mean that definitely I would be turned off. You know, I mean how he just said it. You know, the context he said it in, that's fine. But yeah, that would turn off some people. That's a good analogy. That's a good one. You're right.
Thank you. And I wasn't being disrespectful at all.
No, no problem. No problem.
Welcome to the show, Mr. Grimm.
Yeah, pleased to have you, Grimm.
Hey, guys.
This is probably the part where I step out, because every time I speak, he speaks over me.
Except
hang on there.
There was one comment that David said yesterday that was really accurate, but it got stopped. It got missed in the because he was being spoke over that often. It got missed, but he's quite right. The land masses. He was talking about the satellites and the overhead view shots of the land and the GPS coordinates of the land, and he made a comment which was along the lines of, "It's not the land that they're skewing; it's the water." And then his words immediately after was, "The Pacific is massive." I agree entirely. We don't have a way to map out the water because we know that satellites are not over the watered areas, and we don't have any like landmarks so that we can cross triangulate stuff. Because once you're in the middle of the Pacific, if you're surrounded with water, you have nothing, absolutely nothing.
That's true, right? And I was in the Navy, and you know, a lot of people don't realize these ships, they travel in very strict channels. It's not like they're all over the place. Most of these ships are traveling in a very narrow path, routes. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, shipping lanes.
The water current they like to travel with. It's a lot easier on equipment. That's why they travel in the currents, man.
And efficiency.
What I'm saying is they're not all
a lot of loads. Much easier to let nature carry you than it is to push through nature, right? Because you know these jet streams, they're concentric cylinders underwater, what if you imagine looking down at the Earth, you have left and right, you have east and west motions, which is really weird because if it's just the spin of the Earth, why would they go east and west? That's why it's also important to think about the electric nature of the mechanics of the jet streams. So
yeah, we've been
pretty much
joined by
to clear it all up,
heliocentrics.
what I'm
and
saying
we've
is
also
they go in
Sorry,
opposite directions, and that's why there's those narrow bands of travel in the Navy. That's why they have these particular routes that they take for shipping.
Yeah,
We've been
I
joined
just want
by.
to address
Sorry,
one
I've got to
popular
just get my
phrase.
introductions in. I'm just waiting for a gap. That's all I'm doing. We've been joined by heliocentrics and critical thinking always. So heliocentrics first, as your phone keeps going off. If you could just say a quick hello.
Well, what's up, guys? How's everybody going? How's everybody doing? Thanks for having me.
Good to have you here, critical thinking always.
Just listening intently.
Can you say a quick hello? Hello.
Heliocentrics, are you there?
Helio.
Oh, it is Helio. Sorry, I couldn't read it at this
Helio,
distance.
Helio.
No, it's dropped. Maybe we'll get it back. Sorry to interrupt you, Grim. You carry on. You were talking about the channels under the seas.
Under the sea.
So basically, it's like roads. You know, think about your own state, wherever you live. You know, there's highways, but if you don't go off the highway, off the main path, you know, there's a whole lot that's you're not seeing if you don't leave. Well, we got interstates. I don't know what you got, but so really, there could be a lot of hidden water, not just hidden land. I think that's what we were talking about.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
Do you guys think if we had a better understanding of the bottom of the ocean and everything in it, that we would have more of a clue and it would lend more to one side or the other?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, because I think it might be I don't know, it might be an interesting test to see somebody do some of these level tests, but on the ocean floor.
Well, do you know about abyssal plains?
I know about the cables and everything. No. Abyssal plains.
Do research on abyssal plains, tectonic plates.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
You know what a plate is, right? We all eat off of them. They're flat.
I know tectonic plates. I didn't know about the abysmal thing, though.
Abyssal plains.
Cool.
We know what a plain is, right? Then there's the African plains, and then there's the Great Plains, and then Canada's got some plains. You know, Earth seems pretty plainy.
Right.
Tangential to the surface, not plain, not smooth, not flat like level, dude. It's flat like smooth.
I mean, like when you're talking about like Kansas and
yeah,
Florida,
flat
and the thing about it is, I mean, it's like you guys don't seem to realize if there's a flat part on a ball, the curvature has to be made up somewhere. You see what I'm saying? It has
the word
to be.
Flat isn't flat. You're using it as the flat, but it's really not level. You're calling water flat. You're calling land flat. It's really not. It really does.
It's flat until it gets big enough, and then
the word flat is just it's not synonymous with smooth because you're not able to actually see it since you're not really, unless you're using tools or measurements, or like a tower that's beyond your point of what you're calling a vanishing point of horizon, which is most definitely not what that is. That is literally what the actual horizon of the curvature that you're looking at perpendicularly.
How about it doesn't curve 8 inches per mile?
Excuse me? What did you say?
How about it's not curving 8 inches per mile?
How about it is? You're misrepresenting the horizontal.
No, but what if it's not?
The line with the line of sight.
That's, huh? If it's not, it has to be made up somewhere else on this ball.
No, what you're doing is you're breaking it in the first place. You're not using the formula correctly. You and all other flat earthers who have parroted that same nonsense.
Graham, explain to me how to use it.
I'm explaining it to you right now, friend. You don't have to interrupt me in the middle of me talking.
Right, I'm gonna mute my mic.
Right? Because I've been polite to everyone, so I don't know what that's all about. I'll go ahead and give you your the demonstration.
I'm gonna mute my mic. Go ahead, explain it to us.
The red line in this diagram that I'm about to show you is looking straight out at eye level. Here, I'll show you real quick. Get the screen share working. Okay. Get you a better one so you can understand it a little better. Can you see what's going on there?
It's presented for me.
Okay.
To see Mr. Grimm on your PC, if you are on the Hangout, you just have to click on him locally on your Hangout page.
All right, we'll just read this up here. Flat earthers incorrectly apply the 8-inch drop per mile curved earth formula to their line of sight. That's to the line of sight you're doing that, and that's wrong. It's 8 inches drop per mile squared to the horizontal line, which is different from their line of sight. So if you're going to grab the equation and the formula and then not use it correctly and claim a win, then it's another example of how flat earthers misrepresent all things physics. Pretty simple, too.
No, that
do your math now. Tell me I'm wrong.
That's not what we're doing.
They're doing it from ground level too, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Nice try, bro. Nice.
No, there's no try there. That's exactly what just happened. Do you not understand that? It's really simple.
Look. You're saying that they're not making up for the 6 feet of a normal human being. That's what you're saying.
I'm totally not saying that at all. I'm saying they're not using the astronomical line of sight, the horizontal line. They're using the line of sight. The line of sight. Look, there's your problem. That's what you're missing. You're going, oh, that's not right because it's missing this. C times D over RS. Negative. See, because you're missing it.
No, listen. Let's say I'm this guy. He's black. That's me right there. That looks just like me. I'm standing right there.
What looks like you?
The black guy in your little picture, right?
I don't have a black guy in my picture.
In this picture that you're showing, your screen, right?
That is a tripod. I mean, actually,
it's a stick figure.
A surveyor. What do you call it?
It's a stick figure.
Yeah, the stick figure. Huh?
Yeah, it is. It has arms and legs, dude. What are you saying? It's not a stick figure. It obviously is.
It is a tripod. It is a surveyor's tool. It's an image of, a representation of one.
Anyway, you're at that spot right there, right?
Wow, I can't believe I'm not even gonna have this conversation. If you didn't understand what just happened.
You'll let me talk.
You mean speak?
Whatever that is right there. And if you go 30 miles from him, there should be 480 feet of curvature, right?
Oh my goodness. No.
According to the formula, right?
Are you kidding me?
We're not talking about line of sight or anything. We're just talking about from where he's at.
No.
30 miles from where he's at. There's supposed to be 480
from the horizontal line, yeah. But you're measuring from line of sight going, see, that's not that much curvature. You're broken.
Right, so Anthony Riley was sniped out of this hangout.
I know, that's the problem, man. You're
not making any
kind of stuff. You don't even understand it at all. This is another example of how it's just not going to work out in a debate with people who just don't understand things. How can you debate against something you don't even know what it is?
The calculator for the Earth's curvature is wrong.
I'm not even going to get upset this morning. I'm going to rest my case right there.
Right, okay. So somebody sniped Anthony Riley out of this hangout. If he rejoins...
Nobody sniped Anthony. Anthony
can't
sniped
rejoin
himself.
So he's trying to rejoin and it says he can't rejoin the call. Well, I didn't eject him, which means he was sniped. There's no other explanation.
Well, no, if he can't rejoin the call, he might have blocked somebody after he left the call. Anthony Riley is a game player, dude. He's trying to play a game right now. The moon shadow is cast through the sun.
There's 4 people on this panel, Grim, but you're quick to answer and say absolutely certainly not. There's 4 people here. I didn't accuse any of you. I said he was sniped. That's just fact. And you're the first person to immediately say, no, he wasn't. What are you talking about? He's a liar. Well, none of the other people have piped up. Why are you so quick?
Well, he is a liar. That's why I just take it for granted. He's probably lying. Sorry, dude. None of my business.
Hey Nathan, can I share my screen real quick?
Sure. Right. If Anthony joins, I just expect people not to be sniped. You know, I allow anybody to say anything.
No one
even
was
about
rude
me.
to him at all, or anything. Even though he threw poop as soon as I came in, he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna have to leave because he won't let me talk." Did I interrupt him when he said all of that? Nope.
I'm not talking directly to you, Grim. I'm talking to everybody in the audience and everyone on the panel. This is a free platform. There's no need to snipe people on this platform. Everybody is welcome. The only rule is don't swear.
Heliocentrics. It says right there. Heliocentrics removes Anthony.
Right.
Yeah, that's
like
what
I say, Grim, I wasn't accusing you. I'm talking to everybody. There's no need to snipe people on this hangout.
Right. But my point was, like, if we know who did it, we don't have to act like someone on the panel did it.
Well, I didn't know that.
We all know who someone on the panel is going to look like when everybody doesn't like one person.
He never said someone.
I did. I said someone on the panel, but somebody who was in the hangout sniped him out. That's the bottom line here. And there's just no need for it. Literally, you can say whatever you like here. And it just makes whoever sniped him out look bad. It makes it seem like you want to silence Anthony Riley, which just, to me, bolsters his argument. Makes it seem like, you don't want him heard. Why? What are you afraid of?
I don't know who heliocentric even is. I was wondering why Anthony Riley left, because we didn't even get to have any fun with him yet.
Sure. Anyway, we'll move on. Thank you for being here. We've been joined by A4. Adam, pleased to have you.
Oh, thank you. Are you gonna actually tell everybody to say hello?
Hey, hello, Adam.
How you doing?
I would like to make a claim. The Earth is a ball.
No. I'm gonna say hello to me first, and then let me interject.
Oh, my apologies. Continue.
Hello, Nathan. Hello, Hank. Hello. Free. Hello. What's the penguin's name?
Critical attention.
Critical thinking. I'm not going to say hello to Grim, because last time I spoke to Grim, I was
shut up,
talking
dude.
about 8-year-old nephew.
No one said anything about an 8-year-old. I was talking about Auntie, the guy you said was your nephew 2 years ago when you were trolling my channel, you cocksucker.
I never said Auntie was my nephew. I'll get Auntie on here.
Well, I was under the impression that he was, since you guys were talking about at your sister's house, or that was your sister telling you to shut the hell up, or whatever that was going on.
No swearing, please.
So I already said that was my mistake, that I thought that Auntie was the nephew.
Okay. Auntie's not my nephew.
And you keep on trying to insinuate that I'm talking to some 8-year-old kid online, and I'm not.
Well, you're the one that said that you spoke to my nephew when I've only got an 8-year-old nephew, mate. So
there is no 8-year-old nephew that I talked to ever in my life of yours.
I don't have.
You can stop that nonsense right now. I already told you. I thought Anthony was your nephew.
Look at him rage.
He is 20-something years old.
And that's what this troll does. That's what this troll does. All right,
you're trolling right now, dude.
And make malicious claims against somebody.
You just did. You're doing what you're saying that I'm doing. You're literally trying to act like I'm a pedo. Right, you're over here trying to act like I'm a pedo, dude. Yeah, but you're a piece of crap for that. You know that, right?
You're a sicko.
You know that. No, you're the sicko for even thinking in those.
You're the sicko.
For even
the sicko that tried to bring up somebody's nephew into the conversation when I've never ever brought my nephew into the conversation.
See what I mean? See what I mean?
You're the one that tried to say that you spoke with my nephew, and I've never ever had my nephew on.
Right, assuming that your nephew was Auntie, we already know where the mistake was. You don't have to continue to keep talking about some 8-year-old who I've had no knowledge of in my life.
Well, no. Let's put this into perspective then.
Right.
Shut up.
If I was under the impression that Auntie was your nephew, then that's no big deal.
No, because that shows how. No, that shows what your true nature is.
You're the one talking about having people's kids raped. You're acting like I was talking to your nephew, dude. You were acting like you were gonna have latter rain's children raped, and everybody knows that. You said latter rain. I'm gonna have your children raped. Latter rain.
For a second.
No, don't mute me. No,
All right, the guy. No,
truth is
mute
the
him for a
truth,
second.
dude.
All right, you tried to say that
don't mute me,
Ante was
dude.
my nephew, and then you spoke to Ante, who was
That's
apparently
right.
my nephew.
I thought Ante was your nephew. So what? Big
Listen
deal.
to your claim.
He's
This was your
25
claim.
years old,
Apparently,
bro.
I got
Not
kicked out
8
of
years
Why
my
are we
old.
airing this out on a debate channel?
Apparently,
I'm
no,
supposed to be
allowing
talking
him.
about the
this
Earth
on.
was
I wanna
allowing
wrong
him to
I
do
wanna
this,
air this
because the
laundry out
shadow
so then
from the
it's done and
lunar
dusted.
eclipse
I want to air this out so it's done
is
and
slightly
dusted. All right?
curved.
No, you don't. You're trolling this out, dude.
No, I
You
want
don't
to
do
air
this
this
crap.
out so it's done and dusted.
It's already aired out, dude.
No, it isn't, because you're
It
a
is.
liar.
You
You're
are
a
trying to
liar.
make bullshit
you're a
out of
liar.
something.
And then,
That's
and
all
when
it
I
is.
explain how you're a liar, everybody
What would
will
an
see how
8-year-old
much
be
of a
doing
malicious
talking to
troll
me
you are.
from your account anyway?
Everybody will see how much of a
Why would an
malicious troll
8-year-old
you
be
are.
talking to me from your account,
All right,
Adam?
well, you can sit there and let me actually explain.
How would an 8-year-old talk to me from Auntie's account?
Because you know you're a malicious troll. You're only here because you're paid
I'm
to
a
be
troll.
here.
Go check my channel. Anybody can tell I'm not the troll
Yeah,
here.
you're a troll. You're a dead set troll.
Bullshit. Next.
You're a troll. All right.
Earth is a ball.
This guy
Check
tried
my
to say
channel.
that he spoke
It's
to
well known that I'm not just a troll out here.
That's how much of a malicious
bullshit.
troll he is.
Excuse
That's
me for
how
my
much of a malicious
language,
troll he
but
is. He
that's
won't even
baloney.
let me speak. He won't even let me speak.
A4.
He won't even let me speak.
This is not important, dude. This is not important.
It is
bunch of
important.
man
It is important
crap.
when he's trying to maliciously troll me.
It's only about insinuating, demonizing me. That's all you're trying to do is demonize me with what you know to be.
You are new to this channel? Be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth debate. If you would like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside the show while it is live, and if you would like to join the debate and contest anything that is being said, you can click on the link in the info box below this video. Simply click on mute on the page you are currently watching before you click the link below this video to join the show and express your views on the shape of the Earth. There are only a couple of rules. This first one, there's a few guests who are on a fine line between booted, but you are not allowed to swear. If you do, you will be booted. If you are, you will then be asked to only return on the next show, where you will be warmly welcomed back. Please do not try to rejoin using sock accounts. And with that, I'll transition you back to the ad homs and attacks. I mean, shape of the Earth debate.
I'll put it into perspective, and I'll actually give you the benefit of the doubt. All right, you
Thank
tried
you.
to say that
Finally.
you tried to say that you spoke to somebody that you thought was my nephew. All right.
Yeah.
You thought this person was my nephew. And I'll give you the benefit of the doubt on that. He wasn't talking about an 8-year-old. He was talking about somebody that he thought was my nephew, but it wasn't. And I never said he was. I never said it was, and he never said it. He never said he was my nephew. All right. But then you tried to maliciously slander me by saying that I got kicked out of somewhere by being violent when I didn't. And you know that's a lie. You said that Auntie told you that he was my nephew.
Are you kidding me?
And that
you told us that.
And then
you told us that on air.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
You were
Look at
being
this
violent.
troll. This is a troll. This is a troll for you. This is a troll that
you were going to kill someone's children.
Everybody that wants to listen, this is a troll that believes in the globe Earth and that wants to
you
sit
said
there
you were going to sell this bag of weed you had and come kill her.
His agenda.
Man, this is realer than the Dalai Lama's baby's mama's drama.
You literally said that, and you go. Guess what? Check out the chat.
Look at him. No, I haven't. No, I haven't. Prove it. No, I haven't. All right, you apparently.
People in the chat. Does anybody know A4? If you know A4, let them know. Let them know what you think right now.
I know what I've said about.
So it's going to be first Flat Earth Court. Now here we're going to do this again.
I know that I'm an asshole. I know that I'm an asshole.
A4 is the troll.
What you're trying to insinuate is absolutely dog shit.
That's two debates. That's
Geographic about the shape of the.
You're letting guys on that are going to try. This guy's paid.
I'm on topic. This dude's trolling.
Actually,
wake up.
No, you're the one trolling. You're the one trying to say shit that's nothing about it was true.
Really, 8 inches square per mile from the line of sight.
You didn't speak to my nephew. You didn't speak to my nephew. I never lived with my sister.
So what, dude? I didn't speak to your nephew. You know I didn't speak to your nephew. I know I didn't speak to your nephew.
I never lived with my sister. And I never lived with my sister. So why are you trying to make malicious troll? You're trying to maliciously troll me. All right, like you said.
Get that information from. Oh yeah, we did get that information. Yeah, sorry, you don't know.
Like you tried to say, yeah, because you're making it up. You're making it up. It doesn't matter. You tried to say that I live with my sister and I got kicked out of my sister's house because I was violent.
You know, those old A4 videos of him threatening people still exist.
That's what this guy does.
Let's move on already.
Anybody that's in here and listening to the chat, this guy's a globe earther that's trying to defend the globe Earth, and that's what he does.
That's what this place is for. This is Flat Earth debate.
when he can't actually defeat you in a
Is
debate.
this how you shut down the conversation? You know I have the best
control
argument
you.
against
He will
flat Earth, so
try
I'm
and
gonna
maliciously.
trying to
debated
make it
you
look
so
like
many
I'm some
times,
sort of a weirdo online
Yeah,
creeping
you
on
are.
your nephew, dude.
You are. You
Are you
are a
serious?
weirdo, and I've debated
This
you
is the
many
level you
times, and
stoop
I've
to, dude.
debunked you many times.
You're lucky I don't
I've
contact the
debunked you
authorities
so
and
many
have them deal
times.
with you. I'm
I've
not
debunked
kidding.
you so many.
You're
I've
damn
debunked
lucky.
you so many times. I've debunked you so many times. It's no
I'll be
wonder you want
honest
to try and
with you, man.
maliciously troll me.
Deal
I've
with it
debunked
elsewhere.
you
No
so
one
many
cares, man.
times.
If I was using my
It's
real
no
name
wonder
out
you wanna
here, I
maliciously
would
troll
sue
me.
you right now.
You
If I was
try
trying
it
to make
then,
money
and
on
try
my
it.
channel,
Go
you'd be
ahead,
so
go
sued
ahead
right
and
now,
try
dude.
it. Go ahead and try it, and I'll pull up the.
No,
I'll
no.
pull up
If
the
I were,
screenshots.
because I don't care
Go
to. I really don't
ahead
care
and
to.
try
That's
it,
all
and
the
I'll
thing
pull up the
is.
screenshots of what you
You don't
said,
really
and let's
concern me
see
that
who gets
much.
sued. Let's see who gets sued for malicious
But
slander.
if this were ever taken
Go.
seriously on any account, dude, you would
Go, yeah,
definitely.
and you'll be the one that's getting sued for defamation of
Oh, no,
character
you'd be
because you're a
criminally
liar.
charged too. Are you
You're
kidding
a
me?
liar. You're a dead set liar.
You'd
Why do
have
you
to
think that
stop
I
this
come on here to confront
immediately,
you?
bro,
Why do
in
you
order
think
to
that I
even
come
stop
on
building
here?
a case on
Why do
yourself
you
right
think?
now.
Why do you think that I waited until I
hope you
seen you on a
understand
show
what
to come
Liz
on and
just
confront
said.
you? Because I know that you've got nothing
I
at
think
all,
everyone else
and
The
I will
Earth
understands
is a
make
what
sure
you said,
slightly
Joe.
you weren't in another
pear-shaped
country.
oblate spheroid because the shadow
If
in the
you weren't in
lunar
another
eclipse is
country,
slightly
Grim, I would
curved.
get you done for defamation of character
Does anybody want to
within
debate
a
that?
day.
Looks like the democracy
Guaranteed, you'll be
says
getting
it,
taken to
guys.
court for defamation
Bye,
of character.
A4.
You're lucky you're in a different country with different jurisdictions. Otherwise, you'd be going down for defamation of character. I'm telling you right now, Grim.
Thank you. Thank you for your very kind
so
and
glad
legal
that you're here,
advice. I will
Adam.
take that.
This wouldn't be a flat
Hey,
Earth debate without
Nathan,
you.
I'm trying to share my screen.
Piss off.
This guy Grim has tried to say that he's recorded me for 7 years. Every time he loses a debate to me, every time this guy Grim V
Loses a
Vance,
debate
whatever
to
his real
him.
name is, whatever your real name is, every time you lose a debate to me or lose an argument to me, you post a link to a web page, Encyclopedia Dramatica, all right, that shows that you're an absolute
Hey, Hank, can you see my screen?
You make
Actually,
malicious
I just
content
Googled you.
about
I just
people.
Googled you real
You
quick,
make
and that's the first
malicious
thing that popped
content.
up, Adam.
You
Is
make
it?
malicious
I
content.
don't even
You
know
have
it
nothing
existed,
to
Adam.
offer.
I just want somebody to tell me what this is.
Thunderbolts
Googled it real
project
quick, and that's
pushing
the first dumb thing that popped up.
propagandist.
Encyclopedia
You're a
Dramatica.
You're a
I thought it was
Thunderbolts.
hilarious.
Answers on
So I
this.
shared
You're a
it.
Thunderbolts propagandist. All
I'm trying
right,
to
you
see.
tried to push the Thunderbolt project, and you're a
Wow, it's like you are
propagandist,
100% shill, aren't you, Adam? Who do
You're
you
the
shill
shill.
for?
You're the one that's getting paid to
Would
be
you
here to
believe-
try and defame other
I believe
people.
you're like the,
I'm not the one that's coming on here
blood of
talking about
Cain.
people's
can
nephews.
explain.
Hey, Adam,
Did
do you
I
have the
mention
blood
your
of
nephew?
Cain running
What's
through your
really
veins,
going on
Adam?
in this?
Did I mention? See, look at you. Look
No,
at the
seriously,
attempts.
isn't that what you said?
You're
you have the
maliciously.
blood of
I don't
Cain
care what I've
running
said.
through
I don't
your
care what I've
veins.
said. That shows your malicious
That's
intent.
right.
This
Remember
shows your
that?
malicious
And
intent.
then right after that, what did you say? I'm gonna
It
have
shows
you
your
show
malicious
your
intent.
this to
It
me.
shows your malicious intent. You've shown your malicious
You are a
intent.
nasty person. I don't know why
You've
anyone
shown
would let you
you've
talk
shown your
on this
malicious
show
intent.
for this
You're trying to
long.
bring up what people have
Someone
said
just
in the
actually
past.
talked
I've tried
about
to
the actual topic of the
Dude,
show.
A4, I'm sorry, dude. A4, I'm sorry, brother. But I've seen you, whatever you're saying, shill or not, the goal of a show would be to disrupt the conversation. And I've seen you do that 2 nights in a row now. So whatever your beef
I've seen
is,
him do it 2 years in a row.
yeah, whatever your beef is.
I don't care what you try to say. Nathan's shows about letting like 6 ball earthers on to like slander one flat earther. So at the moment we've got Hank Hill, Hill, who's really a ball earther. We've got you, we've got Grim V, and we had that one other guy, that free guy, and he was the only flat earther on here. He was the only flat earther on here, and you just want to sit there and try and say that I'm disrupting the show when I've seen what happens every time.
Really
There's like 6
ball
earthers versus 6 ball earthers versus 1 flat earther.
First of all, I'm not a ball earther.
Nathan
drink a glass of milk, Adam.
Nathan supposedly being a flat earther lets this happen. I'll come on this show because it's supposedly being a free show.
All these flavors, Adam, and you're so salty.
Confront
you're
the people that have done
so
malicious
salty.
trolling.
You still haven't sharpened your argument. All you
say.
can do is try to
I
make
don't care
people
what you say.
try to make people think
try to
other people are
malicious troll me, I'm
pedos.
He
gonna make- I'm
projects,
gonna air
he
it out.
disrupts,
argument.
and he accuses people of what he's
And you're
doing.
the sicko, dude, for that.
Yeah,
The fact
that would
that's
be a
the first
common
thing that
change.
you
I'm
go
going to
to
air my
your
laundry. You can all
toolboxes.
jump in. I don't care. It shows the true malicious nature that you're fucking here
It
for.
shows
you,
that you're
yeah.
This is
It
an
shows the true
A4-centric
malicious
channel.
nature.
This
All
is
right, you're here for
A4
malicious
centrism.
intent.
I mentioned your folly.
To try and, you're not here, Grim. I've seen you do this over and over and over for years now. You're not here to try and find out truth. You're trying here to push your vaccine propaganda, and you're trying here to push your Thunderbolt propaganda. And that's what you're here for. You're here to try and push your vaccine propaganda and your.
Let's have a vote. Who wants to get rid of A4?
I don't care. I don't care. He doesn't bother me.
I don't think that people want to hear about it.
Stop pushing your false propaganda.
People came to watch A4 disrupt a debate.
I don't care.
Hank.
All right, Hank. Hank, you can't say much. You can't say much when the last show that you had, Hank, you can't say much when the last show you had, you let people prank call me. What are you talking about? You let people call my.
It wasn't a prank call. We invited you to come
in. Here to try and shut your channel down, dude. He thinks you're a ball earther, not a fair debater.
You're a troll, Hank.
He's part of the cult that says anyone who has any information.
Hank is a troll. Hank is a troll. Wow, that's funny.
Hank is a troll. Last show Hank had, he let people prank call me. Is that not a troll? Is that not a troll? If somebody lets people on their show and then actually authorizes them to prank call me on my mobile phone, not just, I would have accepted if it was.
Adam, nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
You harass.
No, you don't care, but the people
harass
watching
at least 70 people online at any given time of the day.
People know that you're a shill.
Shut up, you're whining. You can't be the victim.
You're paid to be
the victim. If somebody decides to swing back on you, Adam, that doesn't mean that they've attacked you initially. That means that they're tired of your dumb shittery. Excuse me.
You get paid by the Thunderbolt Project.
To feed you a little bit of your own.
You get paid by pushing the Thunderbolt Project.
Play back with
You've got affiliations to the Thunderbolt Project.
You hyper victimize yourself because you're a baloney.
Blah blah blah. You've got.
Don't bring anything to the table.
Exposing you right now, and you can't do nothing about it.
What's pleomorphism, Adam?
I don't care. You don't have any say here when you are pushing Thunderbolt Project because you get affiliation to it.
All right, Adam, what are adjuvants? Who is Eric Salini?
If I click on the Thunderbolt Project,
why do we not want Monsanto
if I click on the Thunderbolt Project, do you earn money?
Adam, what's glyphosate?
See how he won't answer because he knows.
Glyphosate, Adam.
All right. Oi, Grim,
best studies on glyphosate to date.
Do you earn money if I click on the Thunderbolt Project?
Is the question. I'll take who's Anthony Samsel for 500, Bob.
Push his propagandists.
Yeah. Do you know anything about the truth movement at all other than trying to dismantle it?
What do you know about that you're being paid to push your propaganda?
How many buildings were destroyed on 9/11,
you were in the truth movement, Adam. What's so true about that statement?
Push your propaganda.
Adam, do you have a single shred of evidence that Grimby has ever been paid by a government agency? Do you have a
I do. I actually do. And I've already got it in my videos. I've already got it in my videos.
Who are the Jesuits, Adam?
I've already got like a 6-part series on how Grimby got exposed. I've already got a 6-part.
Who are the Knights of Columbus?
On my actual channel.
No one.
I'll sell you a flat earth t-shirt, Adam.
Apparently now no one cares. No one cares now. When you said, "Do you have proof?"
$35
for you. It's on my channel. Oh, no one cares.
Who threatened to cut my head off live on the internet, Adam?
Grim, Hank, you don't matter. You're the one that lets people on their show to prank call people on their mobile phones.
Adam, do you feel
which is the dumbest thing I've ever heard out of someone's mouth?
Well, that's the truth. That's the truth. I've encountered Grim V for years, and I know that he's affiliated to the Thunderbolt Project, and he gets paid. Every time you click on the Thunderbolts Project, Grim V gets paid. Every time I've encountered Hank Hill, he lets people prank call me on his show, on his hangout.
So it went from one time to every time. Okay, it went from one time to every time.
Adam, I really appreciate you promoting my channel.
That's absolutely bullshit. Can you prove that, by the way?
Yeah, I've got it on my channel.
Did George W. Bush assassinate H.W. Bush assassinate Kennedy and take over the United States of America and reform the immigration in 1964, causing all of our jobs to disappear?
Yeah.
I don't care about your propaganda.
Propaganda.
So anyway, is there something about the Thunderbolts Project that you hate so much that you want to try and prove? Do you have a problem with plasma cosmology?
I don't.
Do you know what a magnetohydrodynamic wave is?
I have no idea.
I'm talking to dimwit over here.
You're trying to push me out of here. It's not warm.
But it's absolutely not true, no matter what, even though you have no idea what any of it's all about.
You're affiliated to the Thunderbolt Project, and you get paid every time somebody clicks on it.
Affiliated, and I get paid.
The States has been hijacked in 1963, and ever since.
I don't work for anybody, Adam. How about that?
I
don't work for anybody. I have my own T-shirt company, Hey, check
What
this
you
out.
done, what
Dude,
you used to do. I could tell
Adam,
everybody
check
what
this
Grim
out.
V used to do. Grim.
You don't have to do any more guesswork, Adam. I'm going to tell you dead up exactly everything about me. I have my own cannabis farm, okay? Therefore, I don't need to work for any fucking Thunderbolts project or anybody on stupid ass YouTube click
Just
videos.
giving me the
Got
opportunity to
Plus-
boot you, Grim. Please, no swearing. Don't make me boot you.
Oh, we're off. I thought we were off air. I was reading the top there. My bad.
No, come on, don't give me that.
No,
See,
I
and then he
literally was
muted me.
not looking
So you're going to
anymore
let these people
after that,
mute
I
me,
promise.
Nathan.
I'm sorry. I
So
swear
you're
I
going to
thought
let
we
these
were
people
off
mute
air.
me, Nathan.
No one booted you.
Yeah, you can kick me if you want, man. I
You
don't
can,
care.
no, Nathan, you can see the truth right now.
I don't want to kick you. I want to hear you and Adam have this out.
To the Thunderbolt project, he gets paid every time somebody
Actually, he
clicks on the
just said we're
Thunderbolt
not
project.
off air, okay?
All
I
right.
thought we were too, because I'm looking at the top of the thing and it's saying off air.
Yeah, off air. It says off air, yeah. For
But
me
it's
too.
not off air, okay?
All right. Well, it's not off air, but still, well, that's good for me then, because that shows everybody that
Nothing's
you're a
good for you,
shill.
silly.
It says that it's off
Yeah,
air
it's
on
good for
mine
me
too.
because it shows everybody listening that you're a shill.
I'm not a shill, you knucklehead.
You are. You get paid
Again, you
every
just said
time
the same
somebody
dumb
clicks
stuff.
on the Thunderbolt project.
Yeah, but I don't
lie.
get
What do
money
you have
from
to
the
lie
Thunderbolt
for, Grim?
project.
Why do
I
you have
am
to
a
be
cannabis
intellectually
farmer.
Dishonest? Why do you have to be intellectually
You.
dishonest?
You're making things up straight out of the
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. If that's a lie, go get me for defamation of character.
I don't need to. You don't bother me that
Yeah,
much.
because you're a liar. You're a fraud. I know what you're doing, mate.
You're not
You
even
get
talking
paid
about me. You
for
don't even know
every
who I
click that
am.
goes
You're
on
not
the
even talking
Thunderbolt
about
project.
me. You're talking about Mr. Grimm, right? You don't even know
No,
who
I'm
I
talking
am.
about
So
Vance. I'm talking
I'm
about
not even-
Vance, the guy that
so
used to
what?
sell vacuum cleaners, and then you failed at that, so then you went to
Failed at it. I was
shirt
17,
sales.
dude.
All right, then you went to
17
shirt
years
sales,
old.
all right, and then you go out now
Failed
and you
at
print
it. Why do
shirts
you-
and then go and sell them in the market.
What are you
But
telling
at the
my
same time,
family
you've got
history
affiliation to the
for?
Thunderbolt project.
That's weird. I sold vacuum cleaners in Florida when I was a kid. I told him that, and you remember that
See,
from 5
how did
years
I know
ago
that,
to
Grim?
keep
How
on
did I know
saying
that?
to
How
me?
did I know that you were
I'm not a kid anymore,
failed
dude.
vacuum cleaner
I was
salesman?
also a neon sign mechanic for 20 years, and I
That's
also
what you're
was an
failed.
electrician.
Failed. No, don't say you
What
were.
is
Say
that,
you're a
man? I'm
failed.
also,
Tell it how it is.
yeah.
You failed at what you've done. All right,
Don't
and
fail
then you
at
stumbled
anything.
across
You're
then you
projecting.
stumbled across the Thunderbolt project,
I'm
and
sorry.
you
He
had a
didn't
little
fail.
bit of
He learned
input in
several
that.
ways not to make a living.
Talking about my personal business like that, and plus you don't even know what you're talking about anyway. You sound like a
You
jealous
failed.
female right
Can
now.
we talk about debate?
I don't
You
know
Earth
what
failed,
you're
mate.
talking about.
Is that
Yeah, I
possible?
really
Adam?
don't want to hear this anymore. I really don't want to hear this anymore.
Yeah, I
Neither
think
does the audience.
I
The
agree
only
with all
person
of you
that wants
now.
to
It's,
hear
I
it
think
is A4, eccentric.
well, A4's on mute now, so I haven't put him there. He's
Oh,
put
that's
himself
nice.
there. So
That's nice. Okay, so the Earth is a ball because the shadow on the lunar eclipse
Not that interesting.
is slightly spherical in nature.
Slightly spherical.
Yep.
What?
How do you know you're not looking at a rendered image?
The moon?
Grim's a
Yep.
troll. Grim's a shill.
I've seen it with my naked eyes.
Yeah, but so.
How do you make your money,
Binoculars,
Grim?
well.
Oh my God,
Dude,
A4. No
this
one
is not how
cares.
you make your money debate.
I don't
A4.
care what you say.
This
I
is
don't care
not
when you tell me
A4
no one cares.
centrism.
All right, listen, Linda. Do you care? Hey, buddy, my friend that's here now. Do you care? Care about what?
Oh, he's showing off in front of his friends. He's like, "Hey guys, watch me
Of course
hijack
I
this
do.
debate.
My friend said that he
Look
cares
how awesome
about
I am. I'm
how
controlling
you people are
everything."
being paid. All right, so you saying that
How you
don't
people
care
are being
about me
paid?
Because I've got a friend here that says
I
they
work
do
in a weed
care on
grow.
how
What do you want to
get
know?
your
Go
payments.
get out of here.
Right, shill.
While you guys troll.
Shill. Hey,
Pretending to be Australian. Bunch of Israelis behind cubicles.
that's right.
pretending to be
If we have to
Australian.
go out and do hard labor while you're sitting here trolling and you're getting paid to troll, then we do care. I'm sorry to
is that what
say,
it
but
is?
you're
You
going to get
magic
exposed so
dumb? You have a
bad that
dumb
you're going to have to
job?
try
I'm
and
just
get me
kidding.
for defamation of
We've
character.
all had to do
There's
dumb
nothing
jobs,
you can
dude.
do.
Yeah, I'm going to admit it.
Keep on
I get
trying
paid
to
by the
talk over me.
government
Yeah,
once a
me
year
too.
when I file
Me
for my
too.
income tax
Look
return.
at him. Look at Hank Hill. Look at Hank Hill, the guy that's never shown his face.
The
The
face
guy
is
that's
showed
never
my
right
shown his
there.
face, and then
The face is right
I've
there.
showed my
Hank
face several
Hill.
times.
I've seen Hank's face.
And the
It's
guy,
a
the
real
guy
face,
that's
dude.
actually he's
He's got
using
real
somebody
cheeks.
else's voice, somebody else's image, and then
I've
when
seen
he holds a
cheeks, man.
hangout, he lets people prank call people.
Oh
Yeah,
my
we're really going
God.
to trust somebody like
No
that.
one cares.
I don't care what you say, fake penguin.
Fuzzy beard.
Thanks
Hey,
for promoting my channel, A4.
Yeah,
I might care.
You might want to.
I'm sure people would love to see Hank Hill prank calling A4.
Say Mr. Grimm. Say Mr.
Turn
Grimm
your camera
V,
on, and I might care. Even though the most disliked person, in my opinion, on this panel is Grim V, at least he has the decency to turn his camera on.
I've been on the news, buddy, so don't even play that.
I don't even care. Well, turn your camera on then if you've been on the news. Turn your camera on. Let everybody see who you are. Let everybody
has
seen
knocked me
you.
down.
I've been
on somebody on camera multiple times.
Turn it on.
Big agra, big oil, big religion, and big stupidity.
Sorry to interrupt you guys. I'm gonna have to turn you down, obviously, to get this intro in. Right, so we've been joined by Music Man. Pleased to have you here.
Hello.
Music.
Trolling for your Sky Daddy. You got Sky Daddy issues, buddy.
Can we get a hello from you, Music Man? Unfortunately,
what's your name? Free something?
Free minded.
What is it?
Free minded.
Yeah, man. What I'm suggesting to you is be very careful when you're on here, dude. All right, you seem legitimate, but you're around a whole bunch of agents and shields, mate.
He's gonna tell you.
Person I heard you
he's gonna be your thought.
I heard you last time when I was on here. And if you noticed, they had a whole bunch of people that joined just to try and derail what you and the other guy, the truck driver, was saying.
Yeah,
all right?
we're derailing.
I tried to just sit back and let you.
That's right, Adam.
Let you pop it so then you can see what's really going on.
We are derailing. I hope you can see that, Freeman.
They want to derail you away. They're probably employed by NASA for all we know. For all we know, these guys are the guys that are employed by NASA.
Neighbor.
I feel sorry for the mental gymnastics A4 must go through in his own head. I really do.
I know.
You disrupted the debate for an hour.
So the Earth is a globe because the lunar eclipse has a slightly curved shadow cast by the Earth, allegedly.
We've been joined by Fep. Can you say a quick hello?
I don't really mean to disrupt your show, Nathan, but really, this is the most entertaining your show's been in a while.
That's not true.
That's not true at all.
Last time I was here, it was pretty entertaining too.
Yeah, I quite enjoyed the Texan fellow. You know, us Texans, we stick together.
For the record, Adam, I've got no issue with you expressing
any
of
the truth,
these views.
Nathan. You know the truth. The more drama and the more exposés, all right, the more that these agents get exposed, the more people are actually going to pay attention.
These agents, yeah, because you know, and you have the proof, and you're gonna tell people, you're gonna police their thoughts, and you're gonna tell them who they should listen to and who they shouldn't listen to. Do you know how ridiculous that is?
I never said anything about who they shouldn't listen to or who they should. I just said that you're a shill. I just said that you're a shill.
So
I never said that you shouldn't listen to you or they should
Why am I a
listen to you.
shill? Why am I a shill?
I never said anything about that. Now you're going to get investigated by somebody that actually has hacking ability. All right, somebody that does have these hacking abilities, and then you're going to get done and dusted like the rest of them. All right, you're going to be on MGTV. On MGTV's next video, I expect to see you. Sorry to say.
For what? For what?
You're trying to hack people too?
Because you're the shills. You're shills.
Shill what? Dude, I work in a weed grow, bro. What? Shill what?
I'm sure you do. Why are you here then? Why are you here? Why are you here then? Why are you here spending most of your time here?
Probably because he wants to debate the shape of the Earth, not disrupt the conversations into
I'm not talking to somebody that's using somebody else's.
Why are you here? That's a potato.
Do you not understand that not everybody has to like dig ditches every day? You understand that there's other forms of income? Do you understand that?
Oh, sure. Tell us all about how you make your income. Tell us all about it.
Me? I go to work 80 hours a week.
Don't answer any of
I'm sure you do, but you're here. You go to work 80 hours a week.
80 hours a week.
You go to work 80 hours a week.
The only one who can get away with death threats on people's children and all kinds of stuff online and not get arrested for it, guys.
You can try to derail as much as you
want. We're the shills, right?
He is not in jail yet, and he has done it all.
Everybody knows who I am, Grim. They don't care about false claims.
Naked body online, all that stuff while he was talking about doing all this.
Doesn't mean that you're less of a shill.
Children.
Hey, what's the rules on sniping? Do I get kicked out if I snipe?
Not have you on my show.
Yeah, please don't snipe him. Just hold on, Adam. Let me just explain why I'm not booting or muting Adam or doing anything to Adam. He is perfectly entitled to express these views. From what I understand, his issue is if there are people on the panel that are paid to be here to disrupt the conversation, that's a big issue for him, and he wants to express that, and I think he's got every right to do so.
Nobody's here to do that, though.
I'm not saying you are. I'm not agreeing with him. I'm not disagreeing with him. I'm just saying
he's making baseless claims over and over again.
And there needs to exactly what you just said, Nathan.
Okay, I'm going to make a claim. Is it okay if I make a claim, Adam? Do I have the right to make a claim?
One of those stupid claims.
Okay.
That's why when everybody called you a shill, Nathan, I stepped back and I said, well, Nathan and people like Nathan and Gem Panda,
Adam,
even Gem Panda, they are acceptable to me. You know why? Because they actually want a conversation. They want to have a conversation.
I want to make a claim.
I challenge you, Adam.
Look at him. Look at him trying to talk over me.
I'm with you, Green. Let's see one piece of evidence. Come on.
I challenge you, Adam.
Look at him trying to talk over me, Nathan. All right, now I'm not here for you. I'm here for Nathan.
Okay, the only reason Adam is here is because he wants to talk about the lunar eclipse and the shadow on the moon. That's why Adam is here.
For your own integrity, for those reasons right now, bud.
Nathan can see what your true intent is now.
Actually,
just like people like I like Gem Panda.
Don't put words in my mouth. That's not what I'm saying, Adam. Sorry, just let me give
you an ask
Sorry, Adam, just let me get a word in.
Sorry,
guys, can I just get one word in?
All right, but you have an actual proof or evidence of it.
I have the right to face my accuser, don't I?
But these guys, they want to try and push a narrative on
this panel.
They're actual shills. Look at them talking over me. They won't let me get a word in.
You're saying the same thing over and over and over, dude. I'm saying new stuff.
Yeah, this is the problem.
That's what you're saying, because you're talking about the electrical universe, and then you're trying to push your propaganda about the Thunderbolt project. It all leads back to the Thunderbolt project, which you get paid. Somebody clicks on the Thunderbolt project, you get paid for it, Grim.
That's not true. That's another lie. Would you please back up that claim with any kind of
evidence? That's true. Just like experimental vaccines, you're involved with him.
True.
That's why he's talking about the vaccines and whatnot.
Now you're going to shotgun and gish gallop, eh?
That's all propaganda.
That's a known tactic. You're just
that's all propaganda. You can't prove anything you say about
running away from your onus.
You can't say. You can't prove anything you say about vaccines. You can't prove anything you say about this Thunderbolt project electrical universe. You can't prove any of it. It's all propaganda.
Hey, when did that start, Flatlander? If you could go back and find out when exactly that started, when everybody started talking over
I
everyone.
appreciate you, Nathan.
Yeah, it's been like
I bet it was around the time that
I appreciate the platform that you've provided, because whether these shills think that they've got the upper hand or not, people are listening, and they're going to see the fact that these guys wish to talk over people the whole time, and they wish to try and push their own agenda and narrative.
You've been challenged. I charge you, Adam, with the duty of
don't challenge me on
your
nothing. You Mr. 195 pulling out shotguns. You don't challenge me
you're
on
not
nothing.
getting away from my 195 in the second grade. Taken out of context, IQ evaluation.
Defend your little old sheepy shield.
Talking about.
Yep.
Right. You're not getting out from under it, though. I tell you that much, buddy.
Sending me text messages right now.
Back up your claim, dude. How do I get paid by the Thunderbolts project? Please back up your claim. Go for it.
Why do you push it so much?
that was a good backup there. That was good evidence.
Yeah, I've already said that I've got the proof on my channel, but I'm just.
I believe in it
right now. I'm just going in rhetoric right now.
I believe in it.
Why do you push it so much?
I believe in it.
You have financial documents.
But you've got no proof of your claims.
You've got a financial document.
Flat Earthers apparently have no proof of their claims. You've got no proof for this Thunderbolt.
Oh, I've got lots of proof. I could go over with you all day long about how I have proof. I have actual physical evidence. We have the Sapphire Project replicating the actual physical sun.
Help you out here, Nathan.
Yeah, we got replicating the speeding up of the ions as they move away from the sun. Yeah, don't talk over me. This is too much information for you to ignore.
This is me to you, Nathan.
You're going to act like I don't have proof.
This is me to you.
You just stepped into a whole wall of plasma with me.
I'm trying to talk to you now, Nathan. Nathan, whether you're paid
demonstrate
by the
exactly everything that we're talking about. Hey, Adam, you can't.
People are saying, Nathan, that you're paid by the Flat Earth Society.
You think people are talking
That's irrelevant to me at the moment. What I'm trying to do is show
and then talk over the answers.
That are trying
this guy's actually scared.
Within this theory, people are trying to twist and turn it.
You're just making things up.
You guys are all pizza guys.
You
deliver pizza. Each and every one of you. You deliver pizza and you try to get on the internet and talk to like-minded people and you try to learn from people. That's what you guys do.
I'm not going to be pushed around on this crap like this.
Nathan, you've been
You can just allow
accused
this nonsense
of
to
working
continue.
with the Flat Earth Society. All right, and I really don't care about that.
You
all
can
right,
have Adam on
everybody
your
each
show
to their own.
every
I
day.
just want to know
About that.
where everybody aligns their
To each their own. Yet everyone's a shill and a paid.
aligns themselves.
Dude,
All
I feel
and
sorry
you
for
align
your
yourself
brain.
with the flat Earth theory,
Like, I don't
Nathan.
feel sorry for him. I'd rather
well,
just
I'm not too
squash him
sure
out of
about
the
all of them.
view,
But
get him out
Grim
of
V
sight
aligns himself
anymore.
with the Electric Universe.
It's that annoying.
Hank Hill is actually a ball
You
Earth,
have no
ball
argument,
Earther that's
dude.
actually a flat Earther, and this other
You have
guy
no
seems like he's
argument,
trying to
Adam.
defend Grim V too much. So I'd say that he's a ball Earther.
You know, it's funny
that's
because
trying to
flat
defend
earthers
the
accuse
rhetoric.
me of being ballers,
I
and
called
ballers
out
accuse me of
NASA
being
on
a flat
live
earther.
television, and I'm a ball earther. Okay,
Accused of all kinds
you're
of
a
crap.
joke, A4. You're a joke. You have this. You have the discernment of a rotten avocado, my friend.
I like it. It's oh no, they're getting right. Say hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hi,
Joker.
I feel sorry for you.
Oh, yeah, they'll go on your Facebook and shit.
Oi,
What are you talking
legit,
about?
just
She's enjoying
shut
the
up
show.
already. What's your name? Adam. I'm so fucking sick.
Don't swear.
I am so freaking sick of Adam just blah 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 blah.
Me too.
What is going on about the fucking Earth is flat? The
Yeah,
freaking
we're all sick of him. You're
A4's girlfriend
come
had
on over
sex
to
with his
our
father.
station. Have a drink.
A4's girlfriend got him booted for swearing.
She started macking on us.
A4's
sorry.
girlfriend had sex with his father.
I did not want to boot Adam, but his girlfriend ruined it for him.
Oh, there you go.
Please
Okay, so
do
does
not
anybody
swear.
want to rebuttal my claim about the moon and the lunar eclipse? I said it like 10 times.
I'd like to. I would. Okay.
Okay,
so-
please do. I'll mute, please.
No. I'd like. Okay. So you're saying that you can actually see the curve of the shadow itself, making it spherical. Now, my argument to me or to you would be, how do you know what you're looking at? How do you know what you're looking at all? How do you know that it's not literally imagine 4K television times a trillion?
That's wrong, Nathan. You kicked me out when it wasn't even me swearing. I was trying to tell him to stop swearing, and you heard it.
Okay, I don't believe that it's a projection of any sort, even if it was 4,000
Jumping
pixels.
online to talk to flat Earth, not stuff. Oh, I'm sorry, Hank. I thought he was still in here.
It's okay. I don't believe it's a projection of any sort. I believe what they told me was that it was the Earth's shadow from the sunlight casting a spherical, in this case, circular shadow, partially circular shadow on the moon. And I don't know what else could be causing that. And I've heard of Ratu and Ketu and these sort of Hindu beliefs of, hidden celestial objects, but I've never actually seen these, and I've looked up quite a bit. And if there were these Ratu and Ketu objects nearby or within the solar system, then they should block out starlight, which I've never seen. So my only other option would be that it is the Earth's shadow casting on the moon, making a curved shadow. I'm employing the Socratic method, by the way. I'm trying to make you think.
Yeah, no, and I definitely get this. But the point I was trying to raise and the other day is that and I've said this before, but if you've ever, I come from the gaming world, and if you've ever, there's so many different games and styles, but most games are built out in an infinitely flat plane, and the sky itself in the game can be mapped over that. And even though you're on a flat plane, the sky mechanics of the sky all work the same as if you were on a spherical ball. So for me, it's kind of like on both sides, it's like, well, we could argue about the sky endlessly, but like on the flat Earth side, or even on some other sides, we don't really believe anyone's been up there. And we don't, and a lot of us truly think that, it's not, the nature of it isn't understood. So coming from that, it's kind of like, I don't think we're going to find our answers on either side in the sky, but that's just my opinion. I don't know.
what I'm talking about. I joked around earlier with the ships over the horizon, but when I talk about the southern celestial sphere, the pole, and I talk about the shadow on the moon, these are the things that I could never figure out. And I never went full flat Earth. And for the ballers in the room, I never went full retard. Pardon the joke. But these are the things that kept me, on the ball, so to speak, and really kept me on the fence, and that's where I'm at. And the Southern Celestial Pole doesn't work with the AE map, in my opinion. It would be impossible the way that the map is situated. And I do think they're hiding land and resources and probably other humans. And I do think they've been lying. NASA and all that stuff is all fraudulent, of course.
Now,
it's like the Kennedy assassination. I know they're lying, but I can't quite figure it out.
Yeah, well, it's like 9/11. It's like we can't put our finger on exactly who was involved and who pulled it off, but we know we know the official story is BS. Like we can all agree on that, but almost all of us. I mean, but you can go out on the street and get 8 out of 10 people to be. Do you believe the official story of 9/11 happened exactly the way they said it did? You can get 8 out of 10 people tell you hell no. And then you'll get 8 different answers of what actually happened, Right. But I have a question. I'd like ball earthers and flat earthers and everyone to kind of just put down your whatever side you're on, just lay it at the floor for a minute. And I'd like to ask Nathan, Hank, and Grim, let's throw away flat, let's throw away ball. And and if we can agree on some of this NASA fakery, what's another reason, without getting into UFOs and aliens and all that nonsense, is there another reason why it would be faked?
Orthodoxy.
Can you elaborate a little?
Yeah, what do you mean by
sure.
orthodoxy?
Okay. So anytime there's an orthodoxy, it's when people have the preconceived notion that this is what's going on, and then they get new information. And even though it might contradict what they believe and it's, solid evidence, they kind of disregard it or shove it to the side,
Yeah, okay.
And it's the orthodoxies that cause problems in religion and politics, in science. And also there's the problem of special interest groups, or what we call lobbyists, that are lobbying the scientists with grants and all sorts of things. These are the problems. So orthodoxy, lobbyist, money, politics, the list goes on.
Just keep the dogma going, basically.
Yeah, dogma.
Yeah,
that sums it up.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like I don't know. I keep getting this sense that this isn't something that's going to be solved with, I don't know, like something super physical. Like, I don't know. I just feel like we have so little understanding of our reality that this argument, I'm not saying it's not important. I'm saying
you really got to,
I don't know,
plasma cosmology, dude.
No, I know.
Super duper mysteries are totally not mysteries. They're just hidden right from underneath your nose.
Well, no, I'm talking spiritually, vibrationally,
in laboratories and stuff, and largely ignored still. And
I have to agree with Mr. Grimm. The plasma cosmology does make some really good points.
Hey, Grim, let me ask you this: did your work on the neon signs lead you to some of your
yes?
Oh, okay, cool. Okay, because most people don't even know that those neon signs are plasma.
Right. Yeah. Well, I used to actually make art out of them on my spare time. So I'd blow the glass tubulations up in different shapes and stuff, in different sizes. I'd blow them up, really, really large, and bubble them and stuff, make bottles, and put electrodes all over them, and then run congruent, the transformers congruent, and have like huge decorative ensembles and stuff like that for people. I used to do all kinds of cove lighting and fun stuff like that too. But for the most part, it was fun watching all the different Birkeland currents. I didn't have a name for it then. I just called it the snakes, the electrical snakes. I didn't understand Christian Berkeley's work and all that kind of stuff like I do as an as I'm older here. But yeah, I was definitely just playing with it and not realizing, how amazing all that stuff was. But I understood different properties of different pressures and different noble gases and neon, argon, all that fun stuff with mercury vapors and why you needed all of that because, I had some good teachers. I actually learned how to pump and bombard neon in 6 hours. It's
That's
a
cool,
6-week program, but the people I was getting the lesson from Gary and Donna. Them they had I was dating their daughter, so he was just like testing me out and seeing like how fast I could learn something. I guess I didn't realize it. And I was like, oh, cool. So you run it through the manifold and you have the pressure at what? Okay. And then and if it's and I just did it all and was welding glass tubulations and one of those proud moments.
You said that you didn't realize it was a test.
Right.
I really have to point out that everything in life is a test. Every time you have a trial or a tribulation
or date my daughter.
Everything is a test.
Get her out of the house. Actually, you guys gonna move out soon?
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think about Tesla, Grim? Nikola Tesla.
He loved his pigeon.
Do you think he was a genius, or?
Of course, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Loved his pigeon.
Oh, yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. Do you think he was railroaded and his technology was suppressed?
Well, that's the story.
Okay.
As far as we know, he was actually a part of it and part of keeping the suppression down. For all we know, the way history's done, we don't really know what's the true history. As far as it's starting to look like everything is pretty much a lie. Who's doing what to who is all a lie.
What do you guys think about NASA? Do you think there are someone you can trust?
Of data. NASA actually does do the things they say they're doing when they're going out there, but they're also.
There's a lot of footage showing a lot of fakery and what they're doing. Have you seen it?
Actually, you think you're seeing bubbles and stuff? I used to think that was bubbles.
No, not even just bubbles, bro. But just
can I share my screen?
Fourth wall mechanics. Fourth wall mechanics.
I have some footage.
Yeah, you're being presented. Go ahead.
This.
Yeah.
I'm clicked on you.
I did have your footage playing earlier, actually, while A4 was.
Okay.
Up with Grim.
I would like for Grim to explain this.
Now, this is the infamous microphone through the hand.
No, it's not. Yeah, that's on there too. But
what are we looking at?
Can you admit that there's some fakery going on right here?
Yeah, Yeah.
What am I looking at there?
You're looking at their technology failing.
I'm looking at digital film overlapping over itself during one of those decodings or whatever. That could literally easily be something like that.
The problem is, Grim, is that there are fourth wall mechanics going on here.
Going behind that, right?
But they say he's wearing augmented virtual reality contacts.
Yeah, so what's going on here is that what they wanted the public to see was him pick something up at a 0G and put it on the shelf, but they forgot to render it in. So that's what we're showing. We're showing that they forgot to render in the. Oh, and then there's also this infamous guy on wires.
Yeah, I'll show.
Yeah. So Grim, you've seen this, Grim, right? The guy on the wires that comes in the back and he's literally suspended from a harness.
Let me
he is on a harness. There is no doubt about it.
Going backwards too. Little hummingbird, isn't he?
Yeah.
It's in zero gravity, so it could literally just be a strap, not Velcroed down
on his knees. Okay.
Yeah, all right. I mean, I might give you that, but I don't know, man. There's just too much
flapping around. I see it. I just saw it flapping around. If it was a wire, it would be taut. Come on, y'all.
You just go to another one. How about this one? How about this one?
It's kind of like if I was, to shoot a hole in one, and then I
To be fair, though,
the one part was missing where I actually shot it.
Grim, you see that?
I was just going to say, Grim isn't typically a NASA apologist. He doesn't spend loads of time defending NASA, just so you guys know.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, I'm just saying these are the people we trust to tell us about the world we live in.
What do you think you're seeing there?
It's obvious. No, just keep watching. You'll see him pull on his harness. Whoops. There you go.
How would he need to pull on his harness? He got snagged up on the on those little metal loops there that go along this thing. Are you talking about the guy?
Watch it.
First, you need to tell me which guy I need to be watching, because
you're watching 4 people on high wire. Isn't that obvious?
The 2 guys in the front. Yeah, the 2 guys in the front. Yeah, you can literally see where the string is pulling his pants taut. Yeah, like what reason would he have for reaching over there at all?
You'd have to almost completely imagine that scenario.
Well, not really. I mean, there's no reason for him to be.
What string are you talking about? Just because he sees this guy, they can see themselves. They can see him going out of screen, so he's just trying to pull him back into the screen.
Yeah, but I mean, what is he pulling on? That's the question. What is he grabbing?
He never got a chance to grab him. He didn't have to. He stopped.
No, look again now.
See, he missed him.
You see his shirt even move. You see what I'm saying? And he's not even.
My problem is the girl with the flat top haircut from the 90s.
Yeah, they don't have the greatest hair.
I mean, she looks like she's about to do some kind of rap video or something.
He just missed him. He didn't pull on anything, you know.
Well, you can see his pants. You can see the tension.
Dude. No, man. That's like saying, look, you just saw his mouth was on his butt just now. It was really on his butt.
Right. I mean, you cannot say you. I mean, come on, look at this.
Like, if you watch, you can see the tension on his pants.
Look, I don't even like NASA that much, but I can't give it that, man. You know,
Fair
I know
enough,
that they
Grim.
misrepresent
If you don't
data.
see it, you don't
talk
see
about
it.
You gotta
hot diffuse gas instead of plasma.
Seeing it with your own eyes, bro.
Solar wind instead of ions.
But Grim, can I ask you objectively though? Can I ask you objectively? If someone misrepresents, if whatever they're misrepresenting data on, about electric universe or whatever, say they are and you believe that, why would you take their word on anything else? It's like if my homie
don't take their word on anything like that. You don't understand what's going on here. I don't just take their word on stuff. Okay. We actually see them going into space, dude. We can watch them.
That's what we are doing. That's what we're doing right now.
Of it.
Watch the CGI.
Watch the shuttle missions, dude.
Now, Grim, do you believe this is real?
I don't know. What is that? You could be giving me some.
This is the craft the Japanese supposedly have orbiting the moon, and this is real footage supposedly.
Yeah, this is the JAXA.
How could I tell you?
Can you make it full screen, please?
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
I don't even speak Japanese much.
That's beautiful. That is beautiful. So beautiful.
Oh yeah, it's I
okay.
Makes me really reflect on my place in the universe. You know that.
Was you counting right now? You was counting in Japanese.
That's cool.
I'm in Japan right now. I'm in Japan right now.
Are you?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Man, how do I get this shit out the way?
I've always wanted to
utilize knowledge and physical vigor for the purpose of right.
You can't get that out of the way, I don't think.
You can't? I mean, maybe I gotta.
Yeah, no. Well, actually, if you present your whole screen and then just go to a fold.
Couldn't tell you. I don't know anything about any Japanese.
I mean, this is supposed to be real footage. Tell me this looks real.
I could guarantee you that's probably real footage there.
Oh, come on, man. Dude, I've seen video game footage in this.
That's a cast iron guarantee
when
right
the Earth
there.
comes up,
I can guarantee it's probably
the
real.
Earth is not spinning.
I can guarantee it's probably real too. I can guarantee that. Probably.
It's probably okay.
Look at this Earth rise. Look at it. Doesn't show the Earth spinning. You'll see it. I think it's at 216.
This is all like you're showing me something.
This is real footage.
Yeah, no, the Japanese footage is notoriously terrible.
The Japanese are NASA now, right?
No, they're just another space agency.
This is JAXA.
Right.
JAXA, yeah.
You know, 'cause a lot of Globers use the argument, well, there's all different kind of agencies, and they can't be working together. And look at this, man.
Dude.
The Earth is not even spinning. The clouds are not moving.
Beautiful. That is beautiful.
This
Look at
thing
that.
is moving. It's moving fast. It's moving faster. And the Earth, it looks like the Earth is actually spinning. You just can't see it.
Complete, like, dude, if anybody thinks
It's
that's a
happening
real
during
photo, oh my
How much
God,
time do
I'm
you think is
sorry.
going by there? That's the problem. You're not.
No,
Where's the
I'm
bladed
not saying
hair
you
shape?
Gotta see that one more
That's
time.
just
I'm just saying
As
the resolution.
far as you expecting to see the Earth spinning, though, you're absolutely incorrect. It should not be.
Yeah, well, you wouldn't see it spinning. No, not from that close. But I'm just saying, like, the quality of the image itself. It looks like I play video games that have 10 times this render quality.
This is like
this is
Super
bad.
Nintendo.
Games are CGI.
Yeah, and this is worse than that. So what does that tell
It's like
you?
the background. It's like the background of Street Fighter or some shit.
If it was a real photo, it wouldn't look like this.
Realize it's actually taking a. You're just not able to zoom in on the actual photo, right?
No,
Like,
it all
you're
looks
not-
it all looks like subpar
megapixels.
CGI. Subpar CGI. That's all it looks like. It might a 9-year-old can buy a 4K GoPro for a couple $100. You can't tell me that they're not gonna that their cameras.
I hope you are all enjoying the live debate in the audience. We have about 30 minutes left on this broadcast. If you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth debate. If you would like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside the show while it is live. And if you would like to join the debate, simply click on the link in the info box below this video with the page that you are currently looking at on mute. So make sure that the page you're listening to me on now is on mute before you click the link in the info box below this video. Once you join, you are free to express your views on the shape of the Earth. There is only one caveat. Please do not swear. If you do, you will be booted. With that, I'm going to transition back to the action. If you've not done so already, please share the show on social media.
Yeah, it's called ruling through proxy. The Pharaoh ruled.
But let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, Grease. Grim.
The Jesuits run all of the secret societies. I mean, a part of all of the secret societies right now that are pushing anything.
Grim, can I
Agenda 21 wise or NWO style, the Club of Rome, the Committee of 300.
No, I got you.
All countries are run through proxy right now by Jesuits, and it has been like
relation
since the time of the Pharaoh.
Yeah, I know. But no, I just wanted to see. But so you prescribe to the electric universe theory. Do you think that's
plasma
being
cosmology? Yeah.
Plasma cosmology. Sorry, I'm just trying to understand
Same
here.
thing.
Now, do you believe that that information is known by groups and/or agencies, the truth of that information, and do you believe that information is being withheld?
Sort of, yeah. Seems like it, especially with all of the lingo that's being used to avoid saying particular things like EM fields, structuring and organizing matter in space. When you know EM fields are 1,000 billion times stronger than gravity. That's a real number, by the way. So, you know, and their false explanations for gravity are they're talking about just because there's mass. Why is it just because there's mass?
Well, that was always that's
the
one thing I always said to people. Well, you're saying
if you think about it, the mass if you think about, and it's not really subatomic particles, it's actually just smaller facets of the standing wave. But if you think of it in subatomic dipoles, it'd be the subatomic particle is a dipole. And then the dipole would be like a pole inside of another pole, right? The other pole that's attracted to the surface or being pushed to the surface or to the center of the planet is actually the dipole, which is the smallest of the particles. So that's why it's such a weak force to draw on, and it draws on everything because those are not polarized. Magnetically or electrically, they only electrically by their being sustained in the field.
And that's what I like. People like when you're a child, they say, well, when something has more mass, it will attract what has less mass, and everyone's like, well, why? and that you never get a straight answer from them for that.
Because the curvature of space-time fabric is
yeah, exactly. We're like, no, we just want to know how come when there's more mass than less mass, we just want to know that, and they will never answer that question. So it's just like, so let me ask you this then: if you said you think they probably are hiding aspects of that for the electromagnetic universe theory, why would they be hiding it? Just for knowledge or control, or
lots of stuff, right? Because it's connected to everything. Once you start understanding the nature of electricity, the nature of plasma, and how things actually work, you realize there's free energy. You don't need to when I say free energy, I don't mean perpetual motion machines or any nonsense like that. I mean actual hooking into the charge potential of the
raw
globe
energy
itself, right? You know, hooking into the charge potential of the globe.
Been joined by
any of the juice in the middle, and then you have from the ground to the atmosphere, that kind of electrical potential differences also, that you can store batteries from all day long from just having metal poles in the ground. You don't
Shout
need
out to
machines or
multi-tom-tom.
windmills or any of that kind of stuff. You just need put metal poles in the ground, really tall ones.
We've been joined by Hyan. Can I just say a quick hello to? I hope I'm saying your name right. Is it Hyan?
Huey. Call me Huey, Nathan.
Huey. You did tell me that last time. I'm really sorry, Huey.
Good to have you here. No worries. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, how's everyone doing?
What's good?
I was going to introduce something new, but if you guys are in the middle of something deep, then I can come back another time. If anyone's interested, I'd like to bring something up.
No, go for it.
Well, what I'd like to talk about is the flat Earth gyroscope argument. Is anyone familiar with that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
You are, Hank. So can you just run through it, how gyroscopes, aviation gyroscopes, demonstrate a flat Earth? Can you run me through the argument?
Yeah, the argument is that if you start out in the northern hemisphere and the gyroscope is going to be level with the ground, and as you travel for 12 hours and you end up in the southern hemisphere, then the gyroscope should be off tilt because you went around the curve of the ball.
Right. So what you're saying is that if you spin the gyro up at the North Pole, for example, it will be upright in that frame of reference, and as you travel around the curve, because of the nature of the gyroscope, which is to maintain rigidity in space, it should be sideways by the time you get to the equator, yeah?
That's correct, if we're going around the curve.
Right. You're dead right about that. That's true. However, this is what they call apparent drift, right? It's only called apparent drift. It hasn't really drifted. It's still perpendicular to its frame of reference at the start point. By the time you get to another point around a curve, it will be out. Do you know what the other kind of drift is called? That's one type of drift, apparent drift. Do you know what the other type is called? Hank?
Sorry, no, I do not. I was researching what you said. Sorry, I do not know what the other type of drift is called.
The other type of drift is called mechanical drift. The gyroscope will also drift because of friction in the bearings, which you can never eliminate. You can reduce friction, but you can't eliminate it. So the other type of drift is called mechanical drift. Okay? So that means that the gyroscope will drift on a flat Earth as well, if they're not corrected, but they are. The solution to the problem is that apparent drift and mechanical drift are both corrected in the gyroscope itself. There's two methods. One's pendulous vane correction. The other one is called Schuler tuning. So a mechanical gyro, by the way, they don't use those things anymore in modern aviation. These days, it's a ring laser gyro, and you don't have that problem. But anyway, getting back to the old days of the INS system, the gyroscopes are corrected by either pendulous vane or Schuler tuning. So that's the solution to the problem. With me so far?
Yes, sir.
Okay, but that argument seems to have evolved now. And are you familiar with the flat earther called John Savage?
No.
Okay, well, John Savage put up a blog about this, and it's very detailed and technical, and it's very good, actually. But his conclusion is that Well, yeah, they can correct for mechanical drift, but they cannot correct for apparent drift. But he doesn't explain why. So my question to the flat earthers here is why that is. How can a gyroscope understand the difference between mechanical and apparent drift? And this is something that has cropped up. Are you familiar with Wolfie 2060?
No.
Okay, he's a commercial pilot, and he demonstrated pendulous vane correction on a gyro that he mounted on a desk, where he caged the gyro, tilted it, put it back down flat again, and the error that he induced corrected itself. So he demonstrates how the correction works on a gyroscope. It's demonstrated. He also removed the case so you can see the workings and see how it works. And that comment appeared there as well. People were saying, oh, yeah, well, of course it can correct for mechanical drift, but it cannot correct for apparent drift. So that was my question. If anyone knows why, because I don't understand the argument. Do you understand the question?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out why.
Yeah, I don't know either. But this is the latest version of the flat Earth gyroscope argument, and I was just curious.
You know, I really wish I had a copy of the script. You know, I know you guys have like a copy of the whole argument, like that's played out over the past 2 years.
Shit,
and you guys have every single answer. I would love to get a copy of that, you know, just for academic purposes.
Just when you see the show go up, just send me an email. I'll send it you before you join. I thought that was made clear in the email I sent out. Sorry.
What you can do is you can do a Google for John Savage, who is a flat earther, and read the blog post, which is very good. It's an excellent, very well written technical explanation of mechanical gyroscopes. It's just his conclusion is baffling to me. You know, saying, "Oh well, this is horse shit." I think he described apparent drift correction as a myth, but he doesn't say why. He just states that it is. He just asserts that. And in Wolfie's videos, this has been coming up there. Wolfie attempted to post comments on John Savage's own blog, but they were blocked because John Savage has set the thing up so he has to approve every comment that goes in there, and he won't allow Wolfie's questions in there.
Is, just so I'm clear, is the flat Earth argument that they're saying that the presupposition that you need to correct for curvature that isn't there isn't needed? Is that what they're saying?
No, they're saying that because of the nature of the gyroscope, it would go out, right? It would drift as it traveled around the curvature of the Earth.
Right, but if you're in the mindset, I'm just trying to paraphrase it differently slightly for somebody in the flat Earth mindset, which would be to say that if you're starting on a flat plane, there'd be no apparent drift anyway to correct for. Therefore, saying that it's corrected would be
right.
A conspiracy.
That's true. There would be no apparent drift. However, there would still be mechanical drift. So even on a flat Earth, the mechanical gyro would still drift. They would still need correcting.
Yeah, but
John Savage acknowledges this.
Just so I'm clear on that bit as well. I don't know this argument very well. I just want it clarified for me because I don't know it. But are you saying both sides concede that the mechanical drift occurs? Because that seems logical to me.
He's saying he agrees with that, and he goes into the details about how pendulous vane correction works. But then his conclusion is, oh yeah, well it can compensate for mechanical drift, but it cannot compensate for apparent drift. Apparent drift being the drift that you would expect to see on a curved surface. But he doesn't say why. There's no explanation whatsoever. He just says it's a myth.
Wouldn't the explanation be that there is no curvature for a flat earther?
Well, yeah, but that's circular. It's not good enough, is it? I mean, you've got to say why. If you accept that it will correct for mechanical drift, but not apparent drift, there's got to be a reason for that. And I don't understand how a mechanical gyroscope would know the difference.
But without sounding facetious, wouldn't they just say that because the Earth is flat? Wouldn't that be their argument, or be my argument because I'm a flat earther?
If you're going to say it can correct for mechanical but not apparent drift, you've got to give a reason why that would be the case, and how the hell would a mechanical device know the difference? Drift is drift as far as it's concerned.
from what I can now establish, it would be because there wouldn't be any need to, because there isn't any curvature to need correcting.
Yeah, but that's circular. That's using the conclusion at the outset. If you're going to say it can correct for mechanical but not apparent drift, you've got to give a reason. You've got to give an argument for that. There's no argument there whatsoever. It just is a myth.
Okay, I mean, when it comes to gyroscopes, the only thing that I can even reference in my frame of understanding when you talk about things like apparent drift is in regards to the spin of the Earth when they're trying to show literally on camera. You can do it on your table with a gyroscope and just spin it up and show the apparent drift. Now, unless I'm misunderstanding, obviously this is not in reference to gyros on planes. It's just in reference to people trying to debunk that the Earth spins.
An aviation gyro is correct. It has to be. And if you're going to correct for mechanical drift, how the hell can it not correct for apparent drift? As far as the gyroscope is concerned, drift is drift. I don't understand why he thinks
it can correct for it. But the thing is, from the flat Earth worldview, it doesn't have to.
Yeah, that's circular reasoning.
You guys have. Right,
that's
I understand that. I'm just pointing out that you guys have alternative realities. You have different realities.
That's circular reasoning. It doesn't matter about worldviews or realities. We're talking about one thing. We're talking about a mechanical gyroscope that can detect mechanical but not apparent drift. How the hell does that happen? That's my question.
I understand that. I comprehend. Right.
Yeah.
But
I think
what I'm
we're all on
saying
the same
is,
page.
for you guys, it has to correct it, and for the flat earthers, it doesn't have to.
Yeah, that's circular reasoning, Hank.
Why is it circular reasoning then?
Because you're introducing your conclusion in your premise.
But wouldn't that
saying,
same apply
are you doing
to
the same thing?
Same applies to spherical.
No, I'm not doing the same thing. I'm asking the question: how the hell does a gyroscope know the difference between mechanical and apparent drift? It can correct for mechanical drift, but not apparent drift.
Okay,
how does it know?
What is the apparent drift being caused by in your mind?
Apparent drift is caused because a gyroscope maintains rigidity in space. So if you spin it up perpendicular at the North Pole, by the time it gets to the equator, it'll be sideways. The reason it's called apparent drift.
Here we go. So why would it be sideways? Is that not a presupposition that we're on a sphere? In the same way you're saying it's a circular argument that we're flat? It's the same thing.
I'm not presupposing anything. No, it's not a presupposition.
Circular argument.
This is the end principle involved.
Circular. That's just circular.
If the Earth was a globe,
that's just circular. Right? That's just circular. That's just what you've just been doing continually. I'm just doing the same exact thing because they are exactly the same. We're on the same page here, it seems. Hank's broken this down for you, but you won't accept it, it seems.
No, Hank's just introduced a lot of circular reasoning. It doesn't need to correct for apparent drift because the Earth is flat. Well, that's circular.
That wasn't what I was saying. If you listen to the whole thing, what I was saying was, from the flat point of view, it doesn't need to correct. Right?
Yeah,
From
I know
your point of view, it needs to correct.
I don't think you
What
understand.
I'm talking about is you got two different worldviews here, right? You got alternative realities. Your reality is different than Nathan's reality.
Talking about gyroscopes.
It's circular reasoning from your reality.
I'm not looking.
Sorry, sir. I'll let you talk. I'll let you speak. Please let me finish.
Oh, sorry. Go carry on.
It's all right. No worries. From your point of view, it's circular reasoning, and you have the right to stand on that. But from Nathan's point of view, it doesn't need to correct itself. So you're at a standstill.
No. I'm talking about one thing. I'm talking about how a gyroscope could tell the difference. The claim is that it can correct for mechanical drift, but not apparent drift. The question is, how does it know the difference?
Well, how do we prove it's drifting?
Well, the principle of drift. It will drift.
Okay.
That's the nature of the gyroscope. It will drift. It will either drift because of apparent or mechanical drift. They're two separate things.
But I'm now at the stage that you came in with and explained the flat earther that put his position across, which is that they accept the mechanical drift and go, well, what apparent drift? That's the stage that I would reach too. And Hank's okay. I mean, I've got to butt out because I've interjected way too much. I'm really sorry.
Nathan, the claim is that it cannot detect apparent drift, but it can detect mechanical drift. I want to know how it knows the difference. That's my question. And if you're not familiar, I know you guys aren't familiar with the argument. What I suggest you do is check out John Savage. He's a flat earther. Find his blog, just Google it. John Savage, Gyroscopes, whatever, and read his article, then read the conclusion. And then my question is, how the hell would it know the difference? That's it.
I will do exactly that.
So,
thank you.
Check it out. Check it out.
I know. I think Globebusters, they had. I don't know if they did it yet or didn't do it, but they got their hands on like a $14,000 gyro. I don't know if they ever did the tests or not.
Okay, I just want to read a definition so that we're all clear here. Apparent, according to Google, is clearly visible or understood or obvious. Second, seeming real or true, but not necessarily so.
Yeah.
So, okay, it appears that it's drifting.
Yes,
but it may not necessarily be so.
Yeah, because it hasn't
like
really.
When you look at this, like when you look at the sun in the sky. I'm sorry, I'm almost done.
Go on.
Please let me finish. When you look at the sun in the sky, it's not the real position of the sun; it's the apparent position. Much like spearfishing, when the spear goes into the water, the image of the fish is actually bent because the medium has changed. The density of the medium has changed. So the apparent position of the fish and the sun isn't the real position because of, refraction. So the parent, I'm sorry, what was the word?
Parent drift. Can I just jump in here, Frank? You're going off into the weeds. The reason
I'm not trying to. I'm just trying to make it so that I completely understand it. If you must cut me off, go ahead.
Yeah, because you're going off. You're going wrong. The reason it's called apparent drift is because it hasn't really drifted. It is still perpendicular in the frame of reference as where it was spun up, say at the North Pole. It'll be perpendicular there. But as you move to a different frame of reference, it only appears to have drifted in regards to the new frame of reference. That's why it's called apparent drift. It's got nothing to do with any kind of optical illusion or anything like that. That's why it's
you're saying that it appears to drift, but it appears not to drift.
No. I'm saying that it's only drifted relative to the new frame of reference. In the original frame of reference, it's still the same. It's still perpendicular where it was spun up.
So it appears not to drift, because if it's still the same, then it appears not to drift.
The frame of you've got to take into account frame of reference. At the North Pole, it's still perpendicular, right?
If you presuppose that you're on a globe Earth.
Presuppose anything. If you spin it up at the North Pole, it will be perpendicular, 90 degrees, right?
Can I try and add clarity? What I think he's saying is, if you were to take a gyroscope and not correct anything, you would see it change because it's fixed in space and would literally, the case around the gyroscope would move with whatever it was fixed to, but the gyroscope would stay in fixed space, and therefore the only drift that you're seeing is in reference to the original point, let's say the North Pole, where you caged that, if it's an old-fashioned type gyro, that gyro, and it would stay in fixed reference to that as a gyro would be expected to do. Correct?
Yeah, that's right. It's a frame of reference. It's not the gyro that has drifted, it's your frame of reference that's changed, and therefore it's an apparent drift. It's not an actual drift. It's still correct.
So I suppose the only question that remains is
frame of reference.
The easy answer then is to have an uncorrected gyroscope and do exactly that. So you'd start at an arbitrary point and then fly, say, 90 degrees around the sphere, and you would see exactly that you've just described, correct?
An uncorrected gyro would drift because of mechanical drift. How would you know the difference?
See what you're saying. Good point. Kudos.
That's my dilemma here. The guy, the flat earther John Savage is saying it can correct for mechanical drift, but not apparent drift. He doesn't explain why. There's no explanation whatsoever. So that was my question. If you're not familiar with the argument, I wouldn't expect an answer right now, but it's something I'll just put out there for you guys to have a look into. Do your own research, as the flat earthers are always saying, and I'd like to know what the explanation for that is, because I'm sure as hell don't know.
Well, thank you for sharing, and
you're welcome. Yeah,
trying to figure it out.
Yeah, well, look into it. Find John Savage's blog first. It's a very good article. If you want to understand how pendulous veins work, he does a very good job of explaining that.
Is John Savage the name of his YouTube channel?
I don't know if he has a YouTube channel. He may do, but there is a blog.
Okay.
I found it on Google.
Okay.
When I was looking into gyroscopes, and it's John Savage. He's a flat earther, and he wrote a very good article about gyroscopes in general. It's just his conclusion just baffles me because he doesn't say why.
There's an emergency going on, Dave.
We've got about 5 minutes left, just so you guys know.
Anyway, the thing is, I don't come in here a lot because of the timing's a little bit awkward for me, but I always listen in when one of the things gets uploaded. You know, I listen to the recording. So if anyone can answer my question, please feel free to just, you know, put it forward in here, and I will hear it. But I'd love to know.
Yeah,
all right,
so
carry on.
Leave
Enjoy the rest of the hangout.
Indeed.
Can I ask another question to the question?
Just before you do, I'll just say, yeah, leave a comment for Huey once this video is rendered if you have any explanations or questions. Hopefully Huey will check back periodically.
Or in the subsequent hangout. I don't expect an answer right now because you guys haven't had a chance to look into it yet, but sure. Please do.
Will do.
Is this a type of apparent drift that would happen the same time, depending, or the same ratio or frequency, depending on, you know, its relationship to the its position on the sphere?
Sorry, I missed some of that.
Like in the case of the Foucault pendulum, you know, how the rotation is relative to the location on the sphere. Like,
yeah, be careful about introducing rotation. That's a separate issue.
Okay.
I think I said 15% an hour.
That's what I was trying to.
Nothing to do. It's got nothing to do with the rotation of the Earth. We're talking about apparent drift due to the curvature of the Earth.
As you may have just heard, we have about 2 or 3 minutes left on this broadcast, so if you did want to join to do some last-minute trolling, this is your opportunity. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth debate. If you'd like to support the channel, there's a super chat that runs alongside the show while it is live, and if you'd like to join future debates, there is a link in the info box below each of these live shows. The only rules are, please do not swear, and you'll pretty much get away with everything else. If you're booted, please don't try to rejoin. If you haven't done so already, please share the show, and I will return one more time just to say a thank you to the audience before we close out this show.
Schuler tuning correction works for mechanical drift, but it's conclusions, but that doesn't work for apparent drift, and I just don't understand why the hell he thinks that. I just don't get it. There's a joke about an old guy, right? Never seen a thermos flask. And he asked someone, what the hell is that? And the guy said, oh, it's a thermos flask. I said, what does that do? And he said, well, if you put something hot in there, it keeps it hot. And if you put something cold in there, it keeps it cold. And the old fella said, how it know? So that's the analogy.
Epistemology of the thermos.
How
do you know?
How does it know?
I like it.
Thermos Earth.
Which just seems like an analogy for what John Savage is saying, because I sure as hell don't know what he means by how it could know the difference. It's a mechanical device, so drift is drift.
I love your avatar, by the way. I gotta say, with that IQ of 6,000, I cannot not listen to you.
Sorry?
Your avatar, the guy with the IQ of 6,000 on the Red Dwarf show.
Holly.
Oh, yeah, Holly.
You're the computer, you know.
The ship's computer, yeah.
You're the ship's computer. You're the best, dude. It's hilarious.
Well, I'm not likening myself to a computer with an IQ of 6,000. I just find the character an amusing, dry-witted kind of guy.
No, it is. He doesn't doesn't have one. It's just it's funny because he's broken.
He's a funny guy. Yeah. The actor is Norman Lovett. He's a stand-up. He's just a funny guy. I'm just a big fan of Norman.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
He does have an IQ of 6,000, which coincidentally is exactly the same.
See you, I say, there's an emergency going on, Dave. I do my best impersonation.
Yeah.
Same IQ as 6,000 PE teachers.
They're dead, Dave. They're all dead, Dave.
Yeah, that's it. The same IQ as 6,000 PE teachers.
Right, and with that, I'm going to say a massive, huge, enormous thank you to all of our live audience for joining us on this debate, and of course a massive thank you to all of the panel for joining us also. Be sure to like, comment, share and subscribe. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I will see you all in the next video.